Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas! Holidays are here and you're writing your letter to Santa. Dear Santa, I've been good. I promise these are the last Shimano parts that I'm ever gonna need. Here's just a suggestion for the best mix. The beauty of the Shimano 12-speed components all released at this point is that you can mix and match something like Deore with SLX, XT or XTR, and as long as you use a Shimano 12-speed chain, the full features of this Gruppo should be available to you. Shimano marketing will tell you that in the past they looked at smooth shifting up the cassette, so downshifts. However, with this newly introduced Hyperglide Plus that does require the 12-speed chain, you would get smoother shifts towards the smaller cogs or upshifts. But even though a Deore M6100 chain would give you the Hyperglide Plus, the big difference is going to be in the materials and most importantly the coating that's on the components. The special coating reduces friction and makes the chain last longer, so I would recommend getting the most expensive one you can afford. In my case, most probably it's going to be either XTR M9100 or XT M8100. So can you use a SRAM or KMC 12-speed chain with the Shimano cassettes? The answer is definitely yes. However, if you care about the Hyperglide Plus, that needs the chain and cassette combo from Shimano. And that takes us to the Shimano 12-speed cranksets and the new design of their chain rings. Shimano calls their new tooth design DCE or Dynamic Change Engagement Plus, and it matches perfectly with the elongated plates of the new chain. That tooth profile is provided by all their 12-speed cranksets. However, I would choose the ones that give you a direct mount chainring. I think is more elegant and down the road might give you more options on the OEM side. The SLX M7100 series gives you the best combination of features, weight, and price. This is within 10 grams of the XT crankset and is designed exactly like the XT and XTR. And just like Shimano designed it, if budget was a big constraint, I would go for the Deore crankset. Always remember when ordering these cranks that the spindle length is dependent on the spacing of your frame, so order accordingly. But despite all the changes, Shimano kept the 24mm diameter of their spindle, meaning that the good old BB52 threaded bottom bracket can still be used today. If you need the press fit version of this Deore, that's called MT500, but I would highly recommend to go for something like this. The MT800 can be had in all these versions depending on your frame needs and is usually my preferred XT or SLX Shimano bottom bracket. And that brings us to the cassettes. But did you guys know that I already have an in-depth comparison between the various Shimano cassettes? Make sure you check them out. One thing that's common for all of them is the use of their new Freehub body, the Micro Spline. You already know that you need their chain for the Hyperglide Plus, but otherwise these cassettes are built identically. The only difference being in the materials being used, and that's reflected in the weight. If you don't mind the almost 600 grams, the Deore gives you an all steel cassette that's going to perform very well. However, for me, I have a bit of a mental block on that weight, so I would probably choose an XT at 470 grams or SLX at 530 grams, but with the same street price as the Deore. And the same question again, can I use a third-party 12-speed chain with these cassettes? And the answer is definitely yes, but you will lose the Hyperglide Plus, which could be one of the reasons why you chose Shimano in the first place. However, HG Plus or not, I think many people pick Shimano versus SRAM because of the Shimano shifter's ability to upshift 2 gears at once. That is rather unique and offered by the XT and the XTR shifter. Is not offered by the SLX and Deore. I have both XTR and XT and the lever feel is the same, so this is much better value given the price delta between the two. SLX and Deore work as well, however they're missing a couple of important features for me, but I have all the differences between the shifters already described in a video that I hope you guys are already familiar with. So the shifter of choice for me would be XT M8100. Shifter comes with the SP41 housing, but when it's time to replace, or if you don't have that housing, try to use the Shimano SP41 and at least the OptiSlick inner cable and the associated end caps that are very good. And you need that cable set because that's what ultimately controls your rear derailleur. And I lined up here the XT, the SLX, and the Deore 12-speed that again I describe in detail in separate videos. And when it comes to budget, I would probably skip the SLX altogether, and today I would pick the Deore 12-speed derailleur. But if you want the XT badge or the ability to adjust the clutch externally or the bearings on the jockey wheels, XT becomes a pretty interesting proposition. This is quite a bit cheaper than the XTR, and it's about 40 grams lighter than the Deore. And when ordering these, remember that you have a 1x12 and a 2x12 option. Make sure you order the one that you actually need. And I know we're talking drivetrain here, but I have to mention the new Shimano brakes. They do come in 2-piston or 4-piston variants, but the new Shimano lever will affect the way you order your parts. I did cover these brakes in quite a few videos on my channel. Make sure you check them out. But if you look here at the iSpec EV design, this is not compatible with the previous iSpec 2 or iSpec B. So when you're ordering the shifter, if you want it to be integrated, make sure you order the iSpec EV variant. They do have both the iSpec EV and the bar clamp version of these. The nomenclature for it is using an I at the end of the ordering string. And by the way, did you know that Shimano now has seat post levers? Think about your dropper post. And these are Shimano universal remotes for it. This is the Deore version. They have an XTR version. I'll make sure to link those videos in the description below. And since I mentioned brakes, if I have the money, I always go for the Deore XT rotors, the ICE technologies. Otherwise, I go for the SLX RT66. These are rock solid and they cost quite a bit less money than the XTs. What we ended up with is a mix of XT, SLX, and Deore, picking XT mostly for extra functionality and SLX and Deore based purely on price, as otherwise they're quite similar. Of course, there's nothing wrong with picking an entire XTR for your next bike, but in case you want to mix and match or save costs here and there, I hope I gave you guys a few ideas of what I think is worth it. What do you think is best value for you? Would you go for the most expensive XTR, XT, or the cheaper Deore? Let me know what you think. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great 2021, and I'll see you all in the new year. Cheers, guys. Cheers.